appears that they have completed the first hole on up there and they're awaiting my return. Here you see the cracking and the pumping just to my left. The National Forest, which I was at a loss to remember the name of, was Tuskegee. Looking at the test hole now, and what we estimated from there was around 3 inches of asphalt concrete with a 15-inch layer of crushed stone base, which is a little different than what was shown on the plans. Obviously we won't be able to see 15 inches down in the hole, but I'll step up here and try to look down and see what type of material it is. Awful lot of granular material in there, or crushed limestone is what it is. A relatively thin amount of asphalt concrete on top. You can see our difficulties in finding where it played out down there in the lower portions of the hole. Materials which came out of the hole, and you can see just how much of that crushed limestone that we have. It's a grayish colored material, a lot of rock included with it, although many of the coarse particles, of course, were ground up by the teeth on the auger. Move down and it looks like we have some soil aggregate subbase right there, and then we get into the sandy clay subgrade, which is stacked over there. Reddish brown in color. Sandy clay, I guess, is about as accurate as any characterization. It's probably close to the borderline between what would be termed a sandy clay and a clayey sand. See the materials coming out of the second hole, getting into the subgrade there. Reddish brown sandy clay, most likely. You see the same materials which came out the first hole also, with the crushed limestone, then getting into the soil aggregate subbase, and the remains of the asphalt concrete. Had around 3.5 inches of asphalt concrete and about the same thicknesses of other materials as we had in the first hole underneath that, around 15 inches of base, about 5 inches of what's referred to here as a stabilized roadbed soil, in which they mix in the coarser aggregate that you see in with the roadbed soil, and then the sandy clay subgrade, reddish brown in color, just as we had before. This is a slightly different section than what was originally described on the typical section and in the candidate project forms. What they apparently did was to switch out some of the originally they had 10 inches of crushed stone and then 5 inches of a soil ag underneath that road mix material. They substituted 5 inches, they substituted crushed stone for that material, or they added 5 inches of crushed stone, and then they took away about 1 inch of the asphalt concrete that had been originally programmed for construction here. And that's what leaves us with the section we have. It won't change the layer coefficient, or at least I don't think it will, that we have for, or I should say the structural number that we have on this pavement prior to overlay. Section 14129 on US Highway 280. We are north of Alexander City, Alabama, and also north of Socopatoy, Alabama, which is at the far north end of the far south end of the project. Incidentally, just one more thing before I go. This may be overlaid as early as April, so We really have to have the Pasco unit take this during